This is the story of a gang member named Daryl Benton Harris, better known by his street name, BiteDown. Born in 1997, BiteDown grew up on the south side of Chicago. In his early teenage years, he became a member of 600, a notorious Black Disciples set that was founded in 2009 by two BD members, D-Thang and King Lil Boo, both of whom were tragically shot and killed in 2011 and 2015, respectively. Many have likely heard BiteDown's name mentioned in songs by the late rapper King Von, who was very close to him. For example, in the track Straight to It, Von raps, "Pop me a pill, then I bite down, 600, real shot, free BiteDown." Even the now incarcerated rapper Rondo Number 9, another prominent member of 600, shouted him out in the song Taliban with the line, "I have BiteDown smoke yo top." BiteDown was clearly a respected and high-ranking member of 600, and remained beloved by his peers, even after his horrific actions in late 2016, which we'll soon get into. Many of you have probably also heard of 600, the infamous Chicago gang with close ties to the world-renowned group known as O Block, the same area that raised rappers like Chief Keef and King Von. 600 is known for having had several high-profile members over the years, such as D Rose, 600 Breezy, Tay 600, Booka 600, L.A. Capone, C-Day, and Rondo Number 9, with some of them currently serving time for first-degree murder. The group built a notorious reputation, and many of its members have been rumored or confirmed to be involved in shootings, murders, and other violent crimes. Given the environment, it's unfortunately not surprising that BiteDown became what he became. He was surrounded by violence from an early age, and many of the people he looked up to were already knee-deep in the street life. What makes it even more interesting is the fact that when 600 was first formed back in 2009 by D-Thang and King Lil Boo, they carefully chose who would be part of their newly established crew. BiteDown, despite his young age at the time, was one of the people selected to join this hand-picked group. BiteDown had a troubled childhood, marked by chaos at home. At just 10 years old, in 2007, he was charged with gun possession after taking a firearm from an older gang member in an attempt to prevent the man from receiving a lengthy prison sentence. As a result, BiteDown was sentenced to a year in juvenile detention. He was released at age 11, but instead of turning away from the streets, he became increasingly entangled in a life of crime. BiteDown became an active shooter in the streets around 2011 or 2012. In November 2012, he allegedly caught his first body, a man named James from the gang Tay City, reportedly alongside King Von and other members of 600. BiteDown was only 15 years old at the time. In early 2014, at the age 17, he was sentenced to 1 year in juvenile detention for a gun crime. Once he got out, a year later, in early May 2015, he was once again allegedly involved in another murder, this time of China O, who was affiliated with both Dirty Low and 051 Young Money. In mid-June 2016, BiteDown was allegedly the gunman in yet another murder, this time of Bebe, a member of Amob, one of 600's fiercest rivals. This means that BiteDown was already a seasoned alleged killer before the horrific massacre we're about to cover. By that point, he was believed to have 3 murders on his conscience, assuming he had one. It took only 4.5 months after his third alleged killing before he committed what many consider one of the most brutal acts of violence tied to the Chicago gang war, when BiteDown gunned down an entire family. Before we get to the massacre, there's one more incident worth mentioning, as if the 3 murders weren't enough. In 2011, at just 14 years old, BiteDown, alongside other members of 600, allegedly pulled up to the funeral of a Jarrow City member who had recently been killed, reportedly by 600. In a brazen act, they opened fire on the gathering, literally shooting up the funeral of a fallen rival. It's also rumored that C-Day, the 600 member believed to be responsible for killing Tutu, and the brother of the late rapper Edai 600, was present during the attack. On November 3, 2016, BiteDown committed what can only be described as a massacre, targeting his pregnant child's mother and her family. The brutality of this act is almost impossible to comprehend. Drug influence or not, it's difficult to imagine how anyone could carry out such an unspeakable crime. According to prosecutors, Daryl Benton Harris, known as BiteDown, was 19 years old when he began dating Amoni House, 20, during the summer of 2015, about a year before the tragedy unfolded. BiteDown quickly became a regular presence at the House family's residence in South Chicago. That lasted until May 2016, when Amoni gave birth to their first child. After the baby was born, BiteDown and Amoni's relationship became strained. They saw each other less frequently, but by that fall, Amoni was pregnant again, this time 4 months along with their second child. In the early hours of November 3rd, BiteDown arrived at Amoni's home on the 8,000 block of South Shore Drive, where she lived with her 5-month-old daughter, her mother, and 4 younger siblings. A 29-year-old family friend was also present that evening. According to prosecutors, the family disapproved of BiteDown, particularly due to how he treated Amoni. What followed that night would be one of the most senseless acts of violence in Chicago's history. At some point during his visit, BiteDown got into an argument with Amoni's 16-year-old brother, Elijah. The dispute quickly escalated into a physical fight, one that BiteDown reportedly lost. Humiliated and furious, he left the house, only to return moments later with a firearm. What followed was an act of unimaginable violence. As soon as he re-entered the home, BiteDown opened fire on Elijah, shooting the teenager in front of his 42-year-old mother. He then turned his gun on her, and as she attempted to flee, he shot her multiple times in the back, causing her to collapse. With 2 family members already gunned down, BiteDown now turned to Amoni, the mother of his child and pregnant with their second. Without hesitation, he shot and killed her, ending her life and that of their unborn baby. Despite her injuries, the mother began to crawl away. BiteDown noticed and shot her again. She survived only by playing dead for the rest of the ordeal. In total, she sustained 5 gunshot wounds to her back, buttocks, left thigh, and right breast. BiteDown wasn't done. He then focused on a 29-year-old family friend who had tried to take cover in the bathroom. He shot her in the neck, back, and leg, yet somehow she also survived. Thankfully, BiteDown spared the 5-month-old daughter he shared with Amoni, as well as the other young children in the house, before fleeing the scene. That anyone survived this senseless and merciless massacre is nothing short of a miracle. A week after the massacre, BiteDown was arrested following what started as a routine traffic stop. Police pulled over a car near 63rd and California, where BiteDown was riding as a passenger, since neither he nor the driver was wearing a seatbelt. When officers approached, BiteDown gave them a fake name, and they were initially allowed to leave. However, as the car pulled off, the driver began cutting off traffic and driving recklessly. Officers followed them for a few blocks until the vehicle stopped and both men stepped out. BiteDown kept his hands in his pockets, and when asked to show his hands, he responded, "No," before taking off running. Believing he was armed, police chased and tased him. He was found carrying 6 bags of marijuana, but no weapon. After determining his true identity, officers realized he was wanted for the murders of Amoni and Elijah House. Amoni, who was 4 months pregnant, had been fatally shot in her right flank, right breast, and mouth. Elijah had been shot fatally in the back. At the time of his arrest, BiteDown was reportedly homeless. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, resisting police, obstructing identification, possession of marijuana, reckless conduct, aggravated battery with a firearm, and intentional homicide of an unborn child. As of now, at 28 years old, BiteDown remains in custody at Cook County Jail, still awaiting sentencing. Chicago may be a large city, but when it comes to gang conflicts, it often feels like a small town, deeply interconnected through personal relationships and hidden family ties. The family that BiteDown targeted in a fatal shooting turned out to be the cousins of world-renowned rapper Lil Zay Osama. Ironically, Lil Zay was also friends with King Von, who was close to BiteDown and even gave him shout-outs in his music. Lil Zay Osama later addressed the incident in one of his songs, reflecting on the tragic events and his personal connection to those involved. He rapped, "Kuzo, I told you, leave that dude alone. Why you ain't listen? He was putting hands on you. I knew I'd have to kill him. That's your baby daddy. That's why you were caught in your feelings. F that. He could have taken care of your baby from a distance. He shot your mother, killed your brother, shot your friend too. Now we after him and every person he kinned to. When he was at his lowest, you were the one he ran to. I know I should have killed that dude when I had the chance to. Rest in peace, King Woogie. Forever. We miss you. 2016, whole summer, we were with you. It ain't your fault you had to go. That bullet hit you, guy. You had every right to fight. That picky hit your sister. F dude, caused destruction to the family. Long as I live, just know that we out to get him. I ain't never seen Mina this hurt. They had my cousin in a mental hospital. Long live Imoni and Woogie until I go. That's it for this video. I hope you found it informative. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. May God bless you all.